Let's turn back the clock and take a look at a momentous, eventful decade. In that time, China has undergone myriad changes and overseen a great many notable achievements.
Among them, the country eliminated absolute poverty and completed the building of what it calls a moderately prosperous society in all respects.
Its economic engine continues to whir with activity. It is climbing up the technological ladder with each new innovation it makes, and it is taking the bold action needed to protect the environment and combat climate change.
Through hard-won victories and challenges overcome, China has gained the experience necessary to share its solutions with the world.
Join us as we examine these changes and consider what they mean for the future.
I came to China in 2006 and have since traveled in every provincial level region on the Chinese mainland to experience and contribute to China's poverty alleviation miracle and overall development. I've not only chronicled these journeys in hundreds of China Daily stories and videos, but have encapsulated these unexpected adventures in my book. I've often been surprised by the unconventional solutions I've encountered throughout the country. President Xi Jinping proposed the targeted poverty alleviation strategy. From the deserts of Inner Mongolia to the tundra of Tibet, from the forests of Guizhou to the prairies of Hebei, Chinese people have developed unexpected innovations to overcome the often extreme and complicated causes of poverty throughout this vast nation. In the Daliang Mountains of Sichuan province, I visited Abu Luoha, the last village on the Chinese mainland to connect to the outside world by road. Building the road required using an M-26 helicopter to fly in excavators and loaders. After its completion, travel times to and from the village were greatly reduced. For me, it was incredible to see firsthand how the village finally ended its isolation. In Dasheng village, on the parched outskirts of Jiangjiakou, Hebei province, I've seen how the disadvantages brought about by drought have been turned into advantages through the use of solar power. Its solar farm has turned sunshine into money, and the villagers are gaining new affluence. In Ganzhou, Jiangxi province, I joined a live stream in a farmer's kiwi fruit orchard. Many people like him are using live streams in e-commerce to sell products around the country, rapidly accelerating poverty alleviation in such communities. Not only have incomes substantially increased, but other areas of quality of life have also improved, such as healthcare, education, housing, and drinking water. Nearly 100 million impoverished rural residents were lifted out of poverty in nearly a decade up to the end of 2020. And rural residents' per capita disposable incomes increased to $1,951 in previously impoverished areas in 2020. Shaking off poverty is not the finish line, but the starting point for new life and new endeavors. From achieving a complete victory in the fight against poverty to advancing rural revitalization across the board, China is creating a better future in the new era.
In recent years, China's economy has begun the transition from high-speed growth to high-quality development, advancing its economic restructuring while improving overall standards and efficiency. New technologies such as artificial intelligence are enabling the rapid upgrading of manufacturing, logistics, transportation, and other sectors. Many of China's industries, from the digital economy to cutting-edge products like solar photovoltaics, have become world leaders. The former has become a new engine driving China's steady economic advances. The Internet's reach has extended into all aspects of work and life, bringing greater convenience as well as new, unexpected breakthroughs. As the world's second largest economy and consumer market, China's role in the global economic landscape has never been more important. In terms of raw numbers, China's gross domestic product reached $17.7 trillion in 2021. Its per capita GDP has crested $10,000 for 3 consecutive years, reaching $12,551 in 2021 and confirming its place on the fast track of the global economy. The country has seen a remarkable expansion in both foreign trade and investment, and the statistics bear this out. The total value of China's goods and services trade reached $6.9 trillion in 2021, making it the second consecutive year the country has taken the top spot in this metric. China's actual use of foreign direct investment continues to grow, reaching $173.5 billion in 2021, and China's outbound direct investment has consistently ranked among the world's top 3. As these trends indicate, economically, we will be seeing a lot from China in the coming decades.
I've experienced China's technological progress firsthand. Chinese scientists and engineers have developed diverse scientific and technological equipment to explore the mysteries of the world. The 500-meter aperture spherical radio telescope is an eye on the sky that has extended the edge of human vision of the cosmos. The research icebreaker, Shuilong 2, literally broke the ice of our understanding of polar regions. Chinese astronauts work in the country's space station. The Mars rover Zhurong has explored the red planet, and the lunar rover Yutu, the moon. From manned spaceflight to sea exploration, from basic research to the commercialization of technological achievements, China's sci-tech sector has achieved profound advancements. The country has become an innovative nation. China's Global Innovation Index rank rose from 34th in 2012 to 12th in 2021. Its total research and development expenditure reached roughly $441 billion last year, and investment in basic research totaled $28.7 billion that year. 5G, big data, blockchain, and other technologies are converging to promote its digital economy. Science, technology are upgrading traditional industries, and sci-tech achievements are serving production and livelihoods. China's new energy vehicles have formed a more complete innovation landscape, and its production and sales have ranked first in the world for 7 years straight.
It's a well-known fact, new energy vehicles like these are an essential component of any strategy to cut fossil fuel use and reduce carbon emissions. Over the past decade, China has taken the initiative to improve its ecological environment, and the widespread adoption of these vehicles is just the tip of the iceberg. In that time, 64 million hectares of trees have been planted in China, creating beautiful landscapes and providing a valuable carbon sink to absorb emissions and curb the effects of climate change. Data from the Ministry of Ecology and Environment show the country's air and water quality have steadily improved. Last year, the share of days with good air quality rose to 87.5%, while the proportion of good quality surface water reached 84.9%. China has labeled vast swaths of lands off limits for development and as zones of ecological preservation, officially inaugurating its first group of national parks, including the Three River Source and Giant Panda National Parks. In addition, the country has been #1 for installed capacity of renewable energy for several years. At present, nearly 1 out of every 3 kilowatt hours of electricity used comes from clean sources. Thanks to 3 generations of Saihamba foresters working tirelessly for more than half a century, over 66,000 hectares of formerly disused land have been transformed into a lush paradise. The project won the Champions of the Earth Award, the highest environmental honor given by the United Nations. The Inner Mongolia Autonomous Region's Kubuchi Desert covers an area of more than 18,600 square kilometers. Once known as a sea of death, 1/3 has been converted into a green oasis after generations put in the hard work to tame the sands. It has become one of the world's finest examples of afforestation and anti-desertification. Other biomes have undergone similar preservation efforts. The Sanjiangyuan area serves as the gene pool of alpine biodiversity and is under national level protection. More than 20,000 ecological rangers spend their days patrolling these areas and making their own important contributions to global biodiversity conservation. In China, peaceful coexistence with nature has gone from rhetoric to reality. But the country has refused to rest on its laurels. In 2020, it took another resolute step forward by announcing it would peak its carbon emissions before 2030 and achieve carbon neutrality before 2060. If we are to avert global catastrophe, each country must do its part, and China is ably fulfilling its responsibility. Over the past decade, the world has gone through a set of complex, sometimes disappointing changes. Recovery from the economic crisis has been slow, and in many ways has regressed. Food, energy, and financial alarm bells are ringing. Regional conflicts and unrest rage across the globe. In an environment filled with these and other daunting challenges, China has resolutely upheld peace, development, and mutually beneficial cooperation, advocating for a new type of international relations. At many international conferences, forums, and events, President Xi Jinping has actively promoted the idea of a community with a shared future for mankind. At the 2021 session of the United Nations General Assembly, President Xi presented the Global Development Initiative, a set of goals designed to buttress the UN's 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. China has been taking concrete action in this vein for some time. Since first putting forward the concept of the Belt and Road Initiative in 2013, it has signed more than 200 cooperation agreements with 149 countries and 32 international organizations as of July 2022. As but one example of this heightened interconnectedness, China-Europe freight trains now run on 82 routes to 200 cities in 24 European countries, bringing the two closer together through shared trade and transport. Today, we are at a decisive moment in human history. We must cast aside differences and pursue peace and development, which is the only way humanity can continue to advance.
One thing we can learn from China's history and struggle over the past century and the last decade is to hew closely to a global vision to pursue the betterment of all people everywhere.
To that end, China will remain committed to multilateralism and dialogue over confrontation.
Through the pursuit of mutual benefit and the finding of common ground, we can all contribute to the steady progress of human civilization. There is much we have learned and much work to do.
Let's do it together.